Hello and welcome to the Intuitive Messenger channel. My name is Mitchell Osborne. You can find me at mitchellosborne.com. I'm a psychic medium, tarot card, Lenormand, and oracle card reader. I'm an animal communication. Yes, I talk to your animals alive and those that are crossed over. And I'm also a hypnotherapist, and I use that work to bring mindfulness into people's lives and to connect them to source energy. But today I'm going to talk about my trip to Italy. And this is mainly to say thank you to everybody who liked, loved, posted, retweeted, or commented over the last 10 days, 11 days actually, because while I was there, I was trying to focus on just enjoying. I tried to like everything or acknowledge what someone said, but I didn't reply to everything. So this is my kind of a quick overview. The decks I'm going to show you today, I will do an unboxing of them in a later video. But first, it was interesting because we were gone during Mercury retrograde. So it was March 5th through the 28th. So we're still in the middle of it as I'm taping this of the 2019 year. But everything went so well. Just a quick overview of like Mercury in retrograde. We would walk right up as the train was arriving or the boat was arriving. We had to run in our transfer from Marco Polo Venezia to Frankfurt. We had to run to catch the flight, but then once we got there, because we only had 27 minutes, once we got there, then the plane was delayed, so we sat for an hour, which was good, because then our luggage got on the plane, so no luggage was left behind. This was all the returning flight. But everything was just boom, 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 it lined up so well. Only the weather was between 40 at night and 65 during the day, maybe 60, because it was pretty much 40 to 60. One day we had like a mid-morning shower. It was back when we were back in Venice, which was good. And so we didn't do a lot of walking that day. And then that afternoon, it was windy and cold. I mean, it was windy and really cold. But if you saw any of my posts, we put an average of 19,804 steps a day, which is basically, I think that's 10 miles a day. So we kind of got to eat what we wanted. I did really well, did not eat a lot of bread or pasta or anything like that, stayed away from the gluten while I was there. But when I did have bread or whatever, I was fine, so that was good. Just overview, amazing time. So we left on March 11th on a Monday night at like 9 o'clock in the evening. We flew overnight. It was an 8.5-hour flight. I didn't sleep. I think I closed my eyes for maybe 10 minutes 2 times, which is unusual for me. Might have been excited about the trip. We arrive at Frankfurt. We have an hour to get to the next flight, which was just an hour-and-a-half jump to Marco Polo. We get there. You know, it was just amazing. I've never been there before. We get on the Vaporetto, which is the boat to get us to our stop. I knew, you know, I got a great deal on a hotel and flight together. Because we planned so far ahead, plus it was right before the season started, so it was still not very touristy, which is again very nice. If you've ever been there when it was hot and touristy, I can't imagine how busy it was, because it was just very cool now. But you know, riding the boat over, starting to see the place, it was amazing. We get off. We only had maybe an 8-minute walk over 2 bridges to get to our hotel with our luggage. We had wheels, which was good. But just the hotel was amazing. Una Venezia, UNA, capital U, capital N, capital A. They're the chain that has a few places throughout Italy, but it was very good very good hotel. Breakfast every morning, part of the package. You know, very continental breakfast: eggs, bacon, you know, salami, fruit, coffee. So every morning we had the breakfast there, unless we were out. So the first day that we got there, we hit the ground running. We saw a little bit of Venezia, and then went to bed probably 8 o'clock that night after 37 hours. Woke up, most mornings we were up at 5:30 or 6 o'clock. We were down at breakfast at 7:30, out the door. First day, we did Burano, which is where Fabian got a bunch of lace. So we spent most of the morning there. It was a little island just kind of north, maybe about a 40-minute boat ride up. And did the morning there, came back, did Venezia. Then the next day, which would have been the 14th, my birthday, we went to Milano. About an hour train ride away. We got a Airbnb there for 2 nights. The first day in Venice, 24,000 steps. It was like what was that, 14? I'm trying to think of how many miles that was. It was like 15 or 16 miles, something crazy. But if you know this, if I ever told you a story, I booked the trip in July of last year. And then about August, September, Fabian sends me a text message and say, did you know about this? So Starbucks opened up the first Starbucks in the entire country in Milan. And I told him, I said, the only place I want to go is Milan because I heard that's where I can find some tarot cards, or there's tarot stores or places like that. So I said, Milan's the only place I want to go. Anywhere else is fine with me. So we got there. We did a little bit of walking. I got this gorgeous mug, and it's the kind of mug I love, but it's the Milano. This is the reserve, their star. Those are the coordinates of where it is. It's like I said, it's a beautiful white mug. So I know when I go in, it says Starbucks Reserve. I know when I go into Starbucks here, people are going to be like, especially like the real Starbucks people that work there, the freaks like me, they're gonna be like, where did you get that? And then for home, this beautiful Starbucks roastery mug. So yes, I did the very touristy thing, but it's also the very Mitchell thing because I do love Starbucks. So I had Starbucks one time while I was there. And all the rest of the time, I had Americanos with a little bit of raw sugar, and the coffee was amazing. The reason Howard Schultz created Starbucks was because of Italian coffee. So, of course, I'm going to have Italian coffee because it was the reason Starbucks was created. It was just rich and dark and just, I loved it. Although they're very small. And as you can see, this is what I normally drink in the morning or in the afternoon. So they would drink about that much. So I would probably have 5 cups a day, which is still not as much as I normally have here. So Milano, that on the 14th, my birthday, the 53rd day, blisters on my feet, walking 24,000 steps. The next day we got up and we went to Lake Como. And in Lake Como, we went to Bellagio. I'm trying to make sure I get all the cities right, which is, I guess, where George Clooney lives. He owns a house. Just gorgeous, just gorgeous. As I go, if I can find some pictures, I'll put some pictures in here about where we are as we go. Maybe I've already put some pictures as well as we go, because I might try to slide the pictures in so you can see them as well. Lake Como, gorgeous. Just a little train ride up, spent the day there, jumped back on the train, back to Milano. And then from Milano, we went to Verona, spent the day in Verona. Our Airbnb there was, I walked out the door, turned left, and in less than 30 seconds, I was standing in front of the Verona arena, the big Coliseum there, so which is a giant square, and it was just gorgeous. So we were there all one day. I'll try to put some pictures up for that. And then the next day, we went to Lake Garda, which it's another big lake. And at the base of the lake, the most southern point, there's a peninsula that goes out in the middle, and the point is Sirmione. Oh, by the way, Bellagio was on the lake comes down and almost makes like a yang sign, no, like the upside down Y, and at the point, the peninsula there was Bellagio. So at this tiny little point is Sirmione. I'm trying to see if I have a picture. But there's a castle there. We went there. And this is where I found my first tarot cards. Actually, no, in Milan. Actually, in Milan, I found, what's his name? Master Menegazzi. Master Menegazzi, who had a store. It is Il Mengelo Edizioni. Let's see if you can see it. That's where, if you freeze frame that, if you're in Milano, go here. That's where there were a bunch of decks that this man, I'm pretty sure, I'm going to do my homework before I unbox these, but this is kind of a very Marseille deck that he did, and just gorgeous deck that I will unbox later. There's a stamp here in wax. And then you might recognize this if you're a tarot enthusiast. Another one is, you can see how big this one is. These are just the major arcana. I'm not going to open it, but this eventually will fit into this. So this goes in here, and I got the one that has the lovers because of the 2 fish. So this lovers card is in here. I believe this is the world on the end, or maybe that's the full. No, Il Matto. I think that's the world card. I can't. No, it's zero. That's the Fool. That's the beginning. The wave, the pure energy. But then this will eventually go in here once I take the box out. But this is a giant box that, like I said, is created with the lovers under the fish. And I also got it because this is like the strength card right there. Let's see if you can see that. It says Hokusai. Hokusai. I think that's like the name of the deck. Again, I'll be doing my homework before I prepare these for you. I'll let you see them. But yes, so I'll be unboxing those in a video. Probably those together. Then that was Milano. And then in Garda, someone told me, I forget who it is. If you're watching this, thank you, because I was paying attention. But I guess it's called a tobacconist, which is like a tobacco shop. But they said they sell them sometimes in the window. So I'm in Sirmione, and I go, Fabian, look, and that's where I got a picture, and I posted. I'll try to put that right here. Of the Gilded Tarot was in the window. But I bought the Afro Americano Tarocchi, and it is in Italian. So, like, I look at this, I don't understand a word, but I love it. So that I will unbox at some point. And I got the Tarocchi dei Druidi. It's probably the Druid Tarot. Again, it's from Le Scarabeo, which is Italian, decks in Italian, and then Vice Versa Tarot, which it's funny because I did not want this deck because so this is the front of the card and that is the back of the card. So each card is its front and back and its own card, and I didn't want this deck because I thought, oh, it's going to drive me crazy because every card, there's no back. So when I'm shuffling, it'll be like the front's there or the back's there. And then as I was buying those 3 decks, I said, what is this? And it's just a deck of playing cards, but every card has an image from Lago di Garda or Lake Garda on it. It's just a simple playing deck. But I said, oh, you have to give me that, especially if there's just images of the lake on there. So I'll definitely unbox that as well. So I will do a video unboxing each of these separately at some point. Who knows when? Maybe I'll use them, maybe I won't. Then Lake Garda, then we took a train back home. I think it was Sunday night, back to Venezia, and I was home. So we left all our luggage in Venezia, and we took just a couple nights of clothes with us so we could just put it in a backpack to go to Milano, Garda, Como, Verona, and then back to Venezia. And did a day in Venezia, went to Burano. Fabian's cousin and his boyfriend came in. Eduardo and Luis came in one day. We spent the day with them. Then the next night had dinner with them, and they got to walk around and see the city. Just absolutely beautiful. One of the last days we went up to this tiny little island that we had to go back to Burano and then call a guy who we did not understand, and Fabian was trying to understand. And Fabian did really well with the Italian. But finally we got a Colombian woman who spoke Spanish and Italian to talk to Maximilian to pick us up, to take us over to San Francesco del Deserto. It was a monastery, a tiny little island that 5 monks live on right now. But Francesco was, I guess, one of the original monks there, San Francis or Francesco. And beautiful island. But it was funny because it was the last day. And people ask me about, do I feel things? Did I feel stuff? In Milan was the only time I felt heavy energy. And it was probably because it was a big city. It was hustle and bustle. Murano, Venezia, like no cars, no transportation. You walked or a boat took you somewhere. So very peaceful. Did not feel any overwhelming energy. It just felt beautiful, peaceful, loving. Milano felt a little overwhelming. Verona felt pretty nice, like a city I could live in. Bellagio and Sirmione on Como and Garda, they felt beautiful because I'm surrounded by water, which I typically feel very peaceful there. But as we're kind of getting close to going to this San Francesco del Deserto island where the monks live, I started feeling a little kind of like, what's going to happen? Are we going to be able to get there? I felt confusion. And as we're waiting for Maximilian to pick us up, we weren't even sure if he was going to show up or not. I just kept feeling like, what if we're trapped on the island and we can't get back? So I started feeling some weird feelings. And as we started walking up from the boat dock up to the monastery, that's the first time I got, okay, I feel like I've been here. I feel some connection to this place, and I've always felt connections to monasteries and to monks. When I went to Italy years ago, we went into the tombs underneath. I felt the monks there, where you're looking at their bones. And then that night, when I was in Rome 7 years ago, I woke up hearing the song "We're So Glad You Came," which was three monks. And two of them were twins. Another one, they were all like brothers. I even had their names at the time. I was trying to Google and find them. So I feel a connection to, Franciscan monks. Past life, absolutely. I remember one time a psychic looked at me when she was doing a circle, and she looked at me, she goes, ugh, she rolled her eyes, and I was like, oh my God, what's going on? She said, you've been a monk and a priest so many times, and I literally just went, I believe you. I believe you. Because it makes sense for who I am and where I am, and just my thoughts and my feelings and my, determination and stuff, and just my path. So as we're walking up, I felt, okay, I think I've been here. I think I might have been forced to come here. I think I might have felt trapped here. And I felt, quote, trapped in religions before when I was in them. I chose to go into them at an older age, not brought up in them. But it was very interesting. And then Roberto, half the group left because we had missed getting with them. So Fabian and I are standing there, and there's back half you couldn't go into, and he was like, I'll take you in. So we basically got to see the whole place because the other half of the group left. And it was very beautiful. It was very peaceful. I felt a really good connection there, but there was a little bit of, I don't want to say anxiety, but like I had to keep telling myself, you're okay. There's a boat here. It's going to take you back. You're not going to be trapped on this island, this deserto island. But just beautiful and peaceful. Oh, I've already put some pictures up. So yeah, you'll get to see some of the pictures here. But anyway, so yeah, last day there, got on the flight. The first flight was a little delayed. The second flight we had to run to catch, and then it was delayed. It was like 9 hours home. But I got to watch several cool movies. A Private War, very good movie about, I forgot her name, the reporter who lost her eye, but it was a very cool movie. But yeah, so amazing trip. And something that if you're still watching, something I tell people, plan for your vacations. I grew up not really going on a lot of vacations, and for me to go on vacation was kind of difficult. And before I met Fabian, I didn't do a lot because it just felt like I was spending too much money and didn't have it and didn't know how to save it, and I wasted it, or I just put me in debt. But when I met him, we work hard. We put money away specifically to go on vacations. We plan, 6, 7, 8, 9 months in advance. And it's been very important to me, and it's been very powerful because I come back. And this time I came back pretty good. Every once in a while I come back and I have a lot of emotions that I'm letting out. And it's like a little death of me. And I do think it is a little death. I think it's letting go of some old stuff. And I think traveling where I traveled, I am changed. I am different. I come back with renewed strength. I come back with more discipline. I lost 2 pounds. I know, look at the steps online, what I walked. But it's beautiful when I come back how I feel like things have shifted and moved and changed. So very exciting. So I hope you get to take vacations and start slowly. Start with, a 4-hour vacation, then a whole day, then a weekend, and then work yourself up. But it's important to break away from your environment and go to somewhere new and different. And then that way when you come back, it's like you can breathe again. It's like sleeping at night. You leave your body and then you come back and you're a little different. So if you're still watching, thanks for watching all the way to the end. Grab a video spread I deliver back to you just like this at mitchellosborne.com in the spread store, or book a session, animal communication, or mindfulness session. I just added those in. If you want to develop some mindfulness, I do 30-minute sessions. I do it at a lower price than my psychic stuff because it'll be a little bit more about me just taking you through a session, but also kind of coaching you how to start your own own practice of mindfulness, which will help your intuition, help your immune system, help your, feeling of peace and living in the present moment. So thank you for watching. Namaste. Feel free to share this as well. And if you have any questions about my travel, and if you're going to go, whatever, don't hesitate to text or email me. All right. Bye-bye.